I love the NFL. I can watch any NFL game at any time. I cover college football, but I love the NFL just as much. But I don't watch it with an analyst type eye. And you're the scout. So when I throw out a team, let's say the Pittsburgh Steelers, since you've got a close eye on them, I don't know what they need necessarily. When you look at the Steelers, what are they looking for in the draft, and what can we expect on draft weekend?
Well, they took Jarvis Jones, they took Ryan Shazier, and then they put Bud Dupree, first-round picks the last 3 years previous to the last year. So, I mean, I think linebacker is a need, and then it's still a need. Jarvis Jones was gone. Now Lawrence Timmons goes to Miami. James Harrison is not on the right side of, where you want to be as a football player, but he's still one of the starters after going on a little hiatus to Cincinnati. So I would still say linebacker is the key need. I mean, that defense is predicated on, moving the football or, defending the football through that linebacker position. So, I look at Attack McKinley from UCLA. I see Tim Williams from Alabama. I think those guys meet their demands. I see a lot of Hassan Reddick, and this is kind of where I don't think Hassan is their type guy. Is they like a larger body guy at that outside linebacker spot, and that's where I don't think he fits their need. I mean, Hargrove was a guy they took in, I think, the 3rd round last year. And when I did my mock draft last year, I thought they might go D-tackle, and I specifically targeted Hargrove just because of size, weight. So that's why I'm going to say, I would say when I see Hassan Reddick, I think he's going to go higher than that, but I think he's just too small. If all the outside linebacker guys are gone, Mark, I think you just definitely have to look again at safety or the defensive back position. That's still kind of a transition mode. Carnell Nake's kind of, their coach out in the back end of things. He's trying to get the most out of some young guys. I mean, Artie Burns, Sean Davis were fantastic last year, but there's still a lot, to build on. Ross Cockrell, they signed they picked up from Buffalo. He was a 4th-round pick. Has his ups and downs. He has his moments, sometimes a little bit tempered, makes those ill-advised fouls. But like I said, I think at the end of the day, it's going to be defense. And I think outside linebacker would be their preference. And then you go safety or defensive back for the Steelers.
CollegeToPro.com is the place to check out. I just started to dive in. You've got player interviews, analysis, scouting reports, all sorts of stuff to dig in and get yourself ready for next weekend's NFL draft. Bo Marchionte and I just getting acquainted here on Twitter in the last few days. And Bo, I appreciate you showing up for an interview so we can talk a little football. And based on everything you delivered here, man, would love to have you back.
Man, I'd love to come back. I mean, it's just like us talking, the only difference is we don't have some chips and beer where we're just kind of doing the internet thing, right?
That's it.
What's wrong with ever talking football, right?
So what's your draft weekend going to look like?
My draft weekend, Saturday is my biggest day. I don't attend the draft. I have before, but Saturday's my biggest day in terms of priority free agents, finding out where all the undrafted guys go. So, that's probably my biggest Twitter day, just, calling all these kids, calling their agents, finding out where these guys are going, and then just trying to break that news. So, I'll basically take Thursday and Friday in, maybe put some stories out there, but there's a lot of to me, it's obvious. I mean, Mitchell Trubisky went to the 49ers. I mean, there's really not much a lot to say. He hasn't doing nothing except to get selected. So I don't, in terms of finding those priority guys, and, I think people like to see those late round guys. So Saturday's obviously the big day. And like I said, an exciting time, Mark, for all these kids. I mean, I think they've worked their whole lives, and, sadly, some of their careers might come to an end after, playing and having hopes. And obviously some of these guys, their dreams are going to come true.
Hey, Bo, after next weekend, if you can carve some time for us, would love to have you back and get your analysis on what happened during draft weekend, and specifically those guys that are trying to make NFL rosters on the back end there would be great.
Yeah. Hey, look forward to it, man.
Hey, Bo, we appreciate the time.
Thanks, Mark. Have a great week.